Hello and welcome once more to World of Horror. That means, of course, that I have found more stuff that I get to show you. Thanks to our wonderful, ongoing, and dedicated modding community. Last time we met a new mystery writer. ANV was their name. They wrote the Pen Pal mystery and the Haunted Bus mystery. They've got a brand new one for us, and the other two mysteries have so many alternate endings and stuff, so we might take a look at those again as well. There's a lot to see. Starting with our custom character. I mentioned her last time. Cyclops' neighbor has become Kawaii. I guess this is early in the Cyclops curse. You woke up missing an eye, but gaining insatiable hunger. Minus one eye, plus ugly, plus smile. And I guess we'll get skilled butcher and serial killer related perks throughout this run. Lucky us. Backstory. I mean, they ought to make custom backstories at this point. It is not an option that is afforded to our modders, tragically. One of the cool things about this character, who is already quite cool, is that there are custom events that we might be able to see if we're lucky. I'm a big fan of scars. Curious birthmark could be interesting, although we will probably take a lot of damage in combat because all custom mysteries tend to have a boss, and the bosses tend to be very difficult, so... yeah, let's go with scars. Old trustworthy scars. 21% doom. Receive a huge penalty. Reverse Miku. Oh, thank you. Cthulhu seems appropriate. Our non-name brand Cthulhu we have at home. Look at our Cyclops. Her hair conveniently doesn't even cover our stats. Load these properly. Wouldn't want to forget that. I did not take a chance to look at our stats, really. I know we have high perception, which means we probably want a legal den. School. I'm going to take a look at the history club, since I never used the library anyway. A personal failing of mine. Library notes, why not? Gain a doom, because that is the stipulation of this boss. Oh, we start with grow teeth. And hunger. Minus one charisma. And I thought it made additional, penalties when dealing with humans of some sort? I don't know, maybe it's just the minus one charisma. One way or another, it is manageable. Yeah, our stats are quite good. In everything but perception and charisma. Somewhat ironic. But there are tons of strength and dex weapons, so that's good to know. Even plenty of good knowledge weapons. Mind Drain's also a good start, although it costs us reason. No, it gains us reason. Never mind. Yeah, that's like the perfect spell for us. I'm gonna use this again, such that I may have low enough reason to justify this bath. There. Back up to full reason. I've lost nothing. We do have an alternate outfit. Curse mode. Wherein we become actually scary. Seems like selling this character short, although it is an excellent design. We'll stick with our adorable default. Bad posture. Highly relatable. So here's another new mystery that was not made by ANV. I found two new mysteries, one of which by our increasingly prolific A and V. And then this one, buried deep in the mod repository on Discord. This is the new one by A and V. Every mystery has a custom alternative right now. Let us... Yeah, I've hyped it up enough. Start with the amateur acting of action auteur. An action film production begins in Shiokawa. You vaguely recognize some of the faces, though not quite the names attached to the project, but apparently there's a single filmmaker using the name Kokoro-san, running the whole show. Director, screenwriter, and the leading actor all in one person. You've never heard of them before. It really is an auteur. Why would a production company decide to move all the way to Shiokawa instead of shooting at any of the much better equipped studios in Tokyo? Surely not even Hollywood accounting could justify moving personnel and equipment all the way to a relatively remote location, and the production timing coincides with the odd incidents plaguing the town. Browsing the latest issue of Shiokawa Chismus Chronicles, you stumble upon an ad. The production is looking for extras, no previous experience required. Rates are reasonable, catering provided. It's a great opportunity for you to investigate further and build up our film career. And also eat plenty of free food, because, yeah, we have the hunger. A local agency, subcontracted by the company, confirms the date. You're to report at their office in the morning for a full day of shooting. Imagine if you were casting extras and a Cyclops showed up. And you just cast them. That is the buy-in to enjoy this mystery. Screenplay. This ought to be important. Follow the script. -2 luck, -2 reason. That's why we started out with ding to reason already. I'm sure we'll read those lines in character later on. I promise I will not attempt any voice acting. Let's see. Well, we don't want a perception weapon, which is fine, because the best perception weapon is extremely expensive. Do we want a knowledge weapon? Better than any of the strength weapons we can get right now, since I didn't get the hardware store. I love the tainted violin, gotta admit. I don't know if I'll be able to afford any of the other stuff I want. I'll take it anyway. It's overpriced. 3 funds just for this thing. Wood, soaked in a curious dark red liquid. Could be just about anything. Not 100% sure we can afford anything else, but if I need to, I will sell my library notes. Yep, I need to sell my library notes. Well worth it. I think there was another tainted violin there. This place is fixing to open up as a instrument shop once we buy it out. Yep, this should be plenty for a good solid start. Hopefully we get more money soon. The blood buyer ought to come by against our will any moment now. When you arrive, there are already many other townsfolk present, excited, no doubt lured by the opportunity to be involved in a real movie. Agency reps hand out schedules and screenplays for each scene, while the production team is hauling the equipment. You glance cursorily at your copy of the screenplay. It seems to be a buddy cop movie, a very popular genre overseas. Ah yes, 1984. Almost forgot. Hey, this wine is perfect for us. I'm guessing champagne, actually, but nonetheless, it's got our name on it. Labyrinth. Classic. The main character and his partner try to get revenge on their corrupt boss. You don't need to be a movie critic to realize the screenplay is full of cliches and far-fetched twists. But hey, it's an action flick, right? Yep, cops, classically trying to take down their bosses. That's really more of a military thing. You don't typically want to portray the police as corrupted anyway. The opening scene is an action-packed, to quote the screenplay, raid on a Yakuza hideout. The company rented a decrepit lot outside town. You're going to be one of the nameless gang members. Lucky us. That's like a featured extra. For a first-timer, that's a pretty good role. Juicy. I love our little chibi version. She's very pleased to be bouncing chibbily along. The principal actors take the scene, Kokoro-san himself in the spotlight, the assistant director filling the director's chair. Kokoro's character, an honest cop Karada, discusses the plan of attack with his partner, unaware their corrupt lieutenant set them up. While the other one, a B-movie veteran, chews the scenery, Kokoro seems to be barely acting at all, instead reciting his lines in a monotone. Hey, yeah, that is my acting style. Meanwhile, you and other bit players are getting ushered inside the hideout. There he is. Hope that's a fake gun. That better not be the dramatic twist. Armed with prop guns, there we go, confirming my worries. And temporary tattoos. You are instructed to run out of the house to be mowed down by the heroes. Action! Ad-lib a one-liner. Oh, or die in dramatic fashion. Oh, man, that is too tempting to pass up. Charisma check failure. Police. More like police. Got him. You stutter before mimicking shooting the prop gun. Pew pew. Cut. The assistant director interrupts the take. What the hell was that? No, it was great. Kokoro-san waves him off. We need that kind of wit. The audience will love it. We're leaving it in. Keep rolling. We're a star. Okay, cut. Good work, everyone, I guess. Next, we're going, no, I really got shot. Yep, it's happening. Called it. Kokoro's a killer. The actor follows up with a few select words that couldn't make it into the script without pushing the movie's rating. The camera operator runs to his help, while the assistant director, pale, screams at someone to call an ambulance. Kokoro-san seems overwhelmed. Yeah, this is a bit of a zeitgeisty mystery, ripped from the headlines. Let's... we could look... I guess maybe Kokoro isn't the killer. This could be an actual, like, murder plot. Yeah, let's try and hunt the killer. Pass my perception check. My two worst stats are what I keep checking these days. Applying Occam's razor, you reach the conclusion that shot was an accident. Most of the cast were using props, but for the sake of close-ups, a few were armed with real guns loaded with blanks. Going back through the sequence of camera takes, you identify the still smoking gun in the hands of one of the extras as the most likely source. It gets taken away as evidence. Well, that was an exciting first day in our acting career. With the wounded taken away to the hospital for observation, most of the production crews seem to be in low spirits. Some voice their disappointment about the quality of the movie so far, though obviously not to Kokoro-san's face. According to the plan, the next few scenes are interior shots, so it's time to go back to town. You know what? I already broke the screenplay. I was supposed to follow the script, and I improvised lines. I think I've already skewed this mystery onto an alternate path, which is a reason I do want to revisit some of the A and V mysteries. They do have multiple endings that are very, very, very different from the sort of default endings I got the first time through. I like checked the sprite work, went through the files and stuff, and yeah, there's some stuff that we missed, that's for sure. This one, I assume that I've already brought us on the path less traveled. Hope so, anyway. Always take the ride, always fail. Yeah, my luck is slightly below average. most characters start at a 6, but we have -2 because our screenplay is cursed, so we normally have a 7. And after this mystery, we should be back to 7. Back in the rented studio, Kokoro-san hands out updated copies of the script, fresh out of the printer, to accommodate his co-lead's injury. Oh, that was the veteran cornball actor that got shot. Didn't even realize. There's still some time left before the crew sets up the scenography and lighting. Looks like a good moment to proceed with the investigation. Things clearly don't add up about the production, and the injury on the very first day of shooting is a bad omen. It's shooting in multiple ways. I gotta investigate the buffet. Although we could read ahead in the script. But it's the buffet. Who could resist the buffet? Decide to follow the other extras to the buffet. As promised, there's a catering provided, though its quality seems to match the other aspects of the production. It's well drawn. All the art is fantastic in this mystery. The office cafeteria was set up to accommodate the movie crew. Production members and extras are gathering around the smorgasbord, talking. There are also multiple pitchers of coffee set on the table. Check out the gossip. What a weird guy, that Kokoro-san. I've heard he's financing the whole production himself. Where did he get all that money? Well, he must have a backer. Apparently, that's why they're shooting in Chiokawa. They're watching the production. Really? Really? I thought it was because of the tax breaks. We're not quite sure if this is an Uwe Boll thing or just an actual indie filmmaker trying their best to highlight a small town with Yakuza. The break's over and the set is ready. The wounded actor arrives back from the hospital, apparently released with only stitches, though he won't be doing any stunts soon. Just in time for the next scene. Should help with his method acting. He's literally received the injury that his character has. Alright, music number. Per the screenplay, in a separate take, the corrupt lieutenant is revealed to moonlight as a Yakuza underboss. Meanwhile, after losing their badges, 2 ex-cops drown their sorrows in a dive bar, consoled by Karada's new love interest, who reminds him of his dead twin sister. That is so 80s, it's disturbing. The, accidental incest plot. Virtually every 80s movie does that, and I don't know why. Karada's partner, a method actor, gets sloshed immediately. Kokoro-san recites his lines, consisting mostly of contrived metaphors with a delivery that would make a lumberjack salivate, forcing other actors to compensate with a performance belonging on a large sandwich. These are certainly some metaphors. That means it's hammy. Meanwhile, perplexed, you double-check your copy of the script. Your name is penciled in as Backup Dancer number 3. Classy. He's a bit, Neil Brainish, I'm gathering. Maybe just a tiny bit. Love the heart necklace. A group of patrons comes up to the group and asks Karada to sing. After a short exchange of half-assed encouragements and refusals, he shimmies his jimmies up on stage, picks up a mic, and bursts into an enka song. You and backup dancers number 1, number 2, and number 4 sway behind him awkwardly. I think we should take it to the next level, although I really wish we had the fame perk. That would require we play as Mizuki. Although there might be some custom perk packs that allow it. Mizuki gets that one by default. Yeah, let's go to town. Knowledge, success. We know the best dances in town. With the script offering no insight on the matter, you consider what kind of moves you could perform to accompany the enka song. You decide to go with a minimalist approach, emphasizing harmony between the melody and lyrics. Cut! Kokoro-san steps away from the mic. We need more energy. The audience will fall asleep. Let's do another take. Huh. I went big and he wants me to go bigger. After several verses displaying Kokoro-san's vocal abilities, the song gets interrupted by the arrival of the villain's underlings. They proceed to harass Kurata's girlfriend, drawing his ire and eternal fire. You mix with other extras to create a background crowd for a lively bar fight. A thick fog starts filling the set. The fight choreography is questionable at best, Kurata slapping the goons who oversell the hits comically, but with light rays piercing the smoke and refracting through beer bottles on the counter. For a moment, the scene looks quite captivating, maybe even artistic. Then, the smoke makes your eyes tear up. Plural. I'm gonna tell the author about that typo. Cut. We can't see anything. Turn the fog machine down. The assistant director calls out. Fog machine? We don't have a fog machine, you hear? And then after a brief moment, fire! All hell breaks loose. This production. Well, we're an investigator. We're gonna look for the source, even if it burns us alive. Perception success. While the rest of the cast try to find their way out, you instead look for the source of the fire. Following the direction from which the smoke first originated, you find a wall drape covered in flames, a sparking spotlight hanging from it by a cable. You pull it down to the ground and douse the flames before they have a chance to spread. Plus one reason. We needed that. I'm getting increasingly disturbed about the UI having a gun pointing directly at Cyclops' head. Hopefully, we survive this mystery. So far, no combat whatsoever, though. Nice, easy stroll with a whole lot of story on it. Thankfully, there are no casualties, though there are multiple injuries caused by the chaotic evacuation. Injuries still count as casualties, just not fatalities. It seems that the fire was caused by improper wiring. At the hospital, the fire brigade chief tears Kokoro-san a new one, while the crew keeps shifting the blame onto each other. The studio was spared the worst, and most of the equipment is salvageable, but the set is unusable for now. We get a break. That's a good idea. Cat's Bagels said it would have been cool if there was, like, some combat, but it was, like, stage fighting as part of the mystery, or possibly, you know, like, an extra going too far and then you actually have to fight them, something like that. Some part tied into the mystery itself. Now, I don't have any injuries, so this would be pointless to accept. Yeah, they could have done a little something to keep the action up. I like the moody music, and the writing so far is fantastic. A little more action, but that's just my preference personally. Without the set, the shooting plan gets amended again. In the next scene, Kurata's love interest reveals she used to be part of a demonic cult. This is taking a turn to pique my interests. This revelation is followed by a flashback sequence to the cult's ritual. You can only scratch your head at this plot development. Well then. For the first time since you've seen him, Kokoro-san seems genuinely excited. It's an interesting character, Kokoro-san, because he's like a bumbling screw-up. But he's at the center of the mystery. He could very well be sinister in any number of ways. This is a pivotal moment for Kurata. It really sets him on the road to revenge. It has to be perfect, or the rest of the picture will fall flat and the audience won't buy it. Keep saying all caps, audience. Maybe he's screaming it into our faces every time he says specifically that word. Now, put on your costumes. We don't have any facilities where we're going next. Yeah, this is getting to be a sinister turn. He might have cast us in an actual, like, demonic summoning. You don a ritual robe, still smelling of ash and smoke. Its carefully embroidered adornments and silky fabric stand in contrast to other cheap props and must have eaten quite a piece of the budget. Next to you, others fidget nervously with their set of cultist casual. It seems every single extra was called in. Coruscant is firing on all cylinders, and I got my ritual robes. I want to put it over my tainted violin, though. I don't think I actually have to wear them. We'll see. Kokoro instructs the crew as they transfer sooty equipment and props to the already crowded minivans. You end up squeezed in your seat between other bit actors, sweating in heavy robes before the van finally departs. Like, canonically, I'm wearing the robes, I'm just not gaining their benefit, we'll say. Or I could just sell them and ruin the whole mood of the mystery. That's right, I could have just used Grow Teeth. Then I would have had a nice, powerful melee attack without spending 6 funds. Oh well. I got plenty of firepower. These mysteries tend to be longer, these A and V ones. And long mysteries result in a great deal of doom. Alright, the production company scouted an old, ruined temple in the middle of the forest. The dirt road you took doesn't quite reach it, so you'll have to make the last part on foot. Actors, now a procession of hooded figures, are already annoyed, but the crew hauling the heavy equipment is on the verge of mutiny. Still, Kokoro-san pushes forward. No map or compass today, so follow the script. Either of the other options will probably just skip the doom penalty, which I was already complaining about. You follow Kokoro-san and eventually make it to the temple, though it takes much longer than it should, judging by the distance. Also, you're pretty sure you passed the same tree at least twice. On to the ritual summoning. It's already dark when you arrive at a small abandoned temple. Kokoro-san supervises the crew closely, wasting no time as they set up the scene. You're going to play one of the cult members participating in a sacrifice ritual. You take your designated spot close to the altar, holding a lit candlestick in your clasped hands. The camera rolls Kokoro-san in the director's seat for the first time today. His character not a part of the scene. You could always add some voiceover in post. Well, he could. I probably should not, since I'm a nobody. Action! Will there actually be action? Not if I keep not having the proper tools. I imagine there's got to be some alternate paths hidden behind all these extra perks and item requirements. The main villain, now in the garb of a cult leader but still wearing his signature sunglasses, stands behind the altar, rethinking his career choices. It's gonna make a Jim Jones reference, but no, he's just bummed about what he's done with his life. I suppose Jim Jones might have been towards the end as well. You look at the script, not recognizing the foreign phrases covering the page. Were they added in one of the numerous updates? We're gonna follow that script. Now let's check failure. You and the rest of the cast struggle, mumbling the odd words. At first, you try as hard as you can to follow the smashed together syllables, but soon your tongue gets tangled and you give up completely. You expect Kokoro-san to interrupt at any moment, but he's laser focused on the altar. Follow the script, he mouths. So he's written us possible actual cultist rituals into the script. Unfortunately, we're bad actors and we can't keep up. Tossing a baby? No, please, don't do this. You hear the female lead protesting behind you. Someone passes you a small, crying bundle to be handed further down the altar. The only problem is you're already holding a lit candle. If only my hand had been crushed at a previous point. Or morbid inspiration. Follow that script. Kokoro-san winces and almost... Oh, I dropped the baby. Should probably read that part. Kokoro-san winces and almost slides off his chair, but when the cameraman turns to him, questioning, you just wave him off. A robed extra on your side picks it up from the floor. Yeah. Casual baby spiking. This guy looks a lot like Jim Jones at this point. The parcel ends up on the altar. The villain's actor struggles in the dim light to read from a script page, pinned inside an open grimoire, sweat dripping down his face. Vida Goron, the all-watching ones. You've tasted, the blood pumped by my heart. You've breathed the air trapped by my lungs. Now watch as I give you a life whole. Reward your humble servant with attention, Vidagor. Vidagragorodon. This sacrifice is for you. He raises a fancy knife with a trembling hand. The actor hesitates, poking a prop with the knife point, as it cries out loudly. Koro-san half rises from the director's seat, intense, mimicking a stabbing motion. You look at your apathetic cohorts in disbelief. Did they all lose their minds? If we follow the script, I have a strange feeling a baby's gonna get impaled. I feel like we don't have the tact to do his subtle sabotage. So I'm gonna dive in front of that knife and interrupt the ritual. Cut! It's a real baby, you scream. The shocked actor pulls the cloth off the bundle, revealing a little red face of a newborn. All eyes turn to the director. That means we dropped a real baby. So that baby's not having a good day regardless. Nobody says cut when I'm in the director's chair. We got their attention. Now finish the ritual or the audience will eat us alive. Plus one reason, at least. As the furious production team closes in on the deranged director, the sudden roar erupts all around you. The temple shakes violently, throwing you to the ground. The walls begin to crumble. Look what you've done! Kokoro's voice breaks as he looks up. I'm sorry. I'd do anything for you. Have mercy. No, it's Kokoro Agrodnoblad. You follow his gaze and finally meet the movie's target audience. With equipment falling down around you, the surrounding scenery dims, leaving you alone in a single spotlight. Ooh. Artistic. Good cinematography on this mystery, too. Far away, from over the fourth wall's rubble, you feel a multitude of eyes cast upon you. There they are. That is a creepy eldritch drawing. Although we are fighting the spotlight in many ways. 30 HP we gotta deal with. And yeah, the combat version of this theme song is really good. I do agree with Chad on that one. We can do 4 attacks, hypothetically. 4 damage a pop. Probably double boost each of these, yeah. 85% chance to do 12 damage. I have the strangest feeling I'm not going to get much more than that out of my life. It's only -1 reason. Probably thanks to our scars. $12 is all he's got left. Nice. Taking that out in practically the minimum number of turns. Sharpening Stone. Sharp type weapons get an extra 1 damage. That sounds excellent. Right up my alley. And knowledge. There it is. This better count as a sharp weapon. Sometimes it's weird. No, it's a magic weapon. Maybe I'll go get a sharp weapon. There are plenty out there. With a final hearty throb, the shrine's structure gives out, and the roof crumbles completely, knocking you to the ground and obscuring your vision. Prosecco skeletons. Putting the saucy back in spaghetti. That's a great tagline. The dust settles as the shell-shocked crew come to themselves. Too much action. I'm going back to shooting pink films, the cameraman says, lifting the destroyed rig as the assistant director crawls out from under. That probably won't end up being a mystery. The cast nervously pull robes off their backs. The villain curses after accidentally stepping on his sunglasses with a loud crunch, while the love interest and the partner share a drink from a miraculously surviving bottle. The villain almost impaled the baby. On camera. That would not have gone well for him. Kokoro-san is nowhere to be found, and neither are the masters of the footage shot so far. All the footage is destroyed, so maybe he wouldn't have gotten away with that baby killing. Was the ritual sacrifice his plan from the beginning? The movie a sham excuse for collecting unwitting pawns for his schemes? Or just a last-ditch maneuver to grab attention of petulant gods and save the troubled production? Fortunately, you managed to put a stop to his designs with your meddling. But it's too early to open the champagne yet. You can't stop the art. You can't stop the artist. Another place, another rewrite, Kokoro-san will get out of development hell once again. And when his feature hits the silver screen, you better not peek between your fingers. In the meantime, you feel watched. Yeah, that was a fantastic mystery. Extremely long. But phenomenal production values, like unique music, so much unique art. Really, really good writing. That was really good. At this point, it is essential if you own this game on PC. You gotta try out the A and B mysteries, the Skunk Rocker mysteries. Skunk Rocker still does all sorts of cool, interesting stuff that I'm really fond of. And all the Haspin stuff as well. That's just bare minimum. If you purchase this game and you're not playing those, you are wasting your money. They're so good. It's ridiculous how good all those mysteries are. So what else we got? We got more A and B stuff right here. Need a bit of a break. They're very, very, very long. So maybe Refulgent Rebirth of a Resurge replica is shorter. I have no idea what the deal with this mystery is. This should be a significant departure from what we just saw. A kind of doll handicraft appears on the shelves, being extremely delicate and can be customized to look exactly like the buyer. They have spread a fashion trend through the town. It feels just like the next day when dolls are everywhere in Shiokawa. Stores are now crowded with people trying to buy a doll that mimics their face. As time goes by, the trend did not fade away, but somehow became even more popular. People hang dolls on their bags, place them at home, and even treat them as new family members. However, rumors have also started spreading. Strange things start happening to doll collectors. Before investigating anything, it could be a good idea to first check the beginning of all the rumors. The first store bringing these dolls is right on the commercial street, crowded all day long. If you want to observe them, there is no better place to go, though you'll have to wait in line. First, though, I never ended up getting my money. Still not quite high enough doom to go to the monument. I'm gonna take a penalty to get some cash. Panic. More than a bit unfortunate. That's gonna significantly slow down my combat. It's a good thing I had the Tainted Violin. This is probably gonna cost $2 because I always get the blue gem first. Just as well. Now I can go to the monument, that's for sure. But I wouldn't want to go there with no money because the guy might ask for money and then he'll get mad and never come back if I don't have any. And I have a strong sense that I will need the monument. Although, every time I complete a mystery, I do get a pretty significant doom reduction. Significant 2% doom reduction, never mind. That's minus 10% over the course of the entire run. Ah, the store. This is fantastic artwork, and the title image was also really good. The little store was crowded with people. You struggled to squeeze through the crowd, but somehow ended up in front of the checkout counter. The steward's costume looked even more exquisite than those of the products. but was wearing a mask with no face, reminding you of a large, lifelike doll. She turned to you questioning without a word. So this is not artistic interpretation, she actually has no face. Let's take a random doll. You didn't know how, but the steward seemed to see through your empty pocket. This is fine, dearest guest. Thin voice came from under the mask. You felt like she was looking into your eyes. Again, plural. Big mistake. If you like dolls, feel free to come and see them. You squeezed yourself out of the shop with her gaze lingering in mind. 2% doom. And no doll to speak of, because I had no money. Girls in local high school dress their dolls carefully at home and take them to class. That was as stilted as I could have possibly read that sentence. The school nurse soon noticed that their grades and physical fitness began to decline, and the number of people visiting the infirmary suffering from unexplained dizziness was surging. The school quickly issued a ban and confiscated the dolls that were brought in. But you know that students are still secretly bringing them in. So I guess they're fidget toys and they're distracting people from their studies. So they've been banned. Because clearly the dolls are the problem here. Okay, on the school, off we go. I just dropped the volume the tiniest bit, because this song is significantly louder than that of the last mystery. No choice but to talk to her. Failed the check. Off we go. A girl tells you that her family doesn't want the dolls either. Such prohibition comes from the elders who live in Suburb. They seem to be terrified of the dolls and don't allow their children working in the city getting close to them. What they should know piques your curiosity. It's time to pay a visit. Yeah, someone out here in the boonies also distrusts the dolls. But first, a gross funeral. I got plenty of stamina to spare. Let's donate some blood. Missing property notices are posted on the streets. People who keep the dolls as decorations on shelves start to find them disappearing. But until now, no trace of their lost items or thieves has been found. All that was left at the scene were some threads being cut off. Interesting. You managed to get your hands on some of them. They looked nothing special. After a long, fruitless investigation, you thought of that store again. Timing went back. It's probably too late to give them money. So going with no money should still be fine. And as soon as you step inside, you start to regret this. The once crowded store only has one customer today. Ah, these threads. They are indeed important, being almost the life of a doll. The steward's voice is as thin as before. You are curious how she sees through that mask. They are placed carefully inside the doll and should not be exposed unless under brute force. Life? Let's explain the situation. I don't know what this one means. Oh, I guess she said they're like the life of the doll or something, and we were reacting to that. You explained the incidents happened recently. You explained the incidents that happened recently, told her dolls are going missing, and reminded her to be careful. Obviously, no expression can be seen on the steward's mask. She just nodded. Thank you very much for the reminder. She just stood behind the counter watching you walk out. By the way, this mystery was originally written in Chinese, I believe? Not English. So we're reading a translation. Hence the occasional error that I'm stumbling across quite awkwardly. With a clear goal, you still couldn't find anything. But what would you expect? After all, those threads are too easy to ignore. The sun was setting. You turned into an alley leading to your apartment, but suddenly you saw some hair hanging from the wall beside the road. Looking closer, they seem slightly thinner than normal hair. They are the threads you've been looking for. Reach out. Just as you reached towards the pile of thread, it started trembling. You suddenly noticed that such threads seem to be everywhere in the alley. I think we're gonna have to fight something here. Some clack-clack-clacks. Strange noises all around. Noises gather, appearing in front. Just dolls' heads, though. Nothing to be worried about. Just a mass of floating heads with tentacles. 51% chance to hit, although it only has 20 HP. We don't need to survive for very long. Okay, that's not the best bet. I think this might be. Yeah, 10 damage a turn. Kinda perfect. Get it done in 2. Beautiful. Some sort of amnesia is spreading, with more and more people reporting that they wake up suddenly in the afternoon or night and lose all memories of the day. Not only that, article titled "Dolls Move on Their Own" was published on tabloids. The driver interviewed said that when he drove near the hospital every night, he could see dolls walking around on their own. I'm sure just about every tabloid has printed that exact same article, though. Doesn't mean much. Is it really possible you decide to vigil nearby and see this incredible sight with your own eyes? Might as well take a peek with our own eye. Psych ward, branded like cattle. Water is dangerous for dolls, states the maintenance instruction. So, since the trend of dolls rise, not many people have gone to seaside. Interesting. Oh, there's like Gremlins instructions for the dolls. Don't get them wet. But now you follow the traces of those stiff figures all the way to the bulwark near the pier. Tide is rising. What are the dolls doing here? Where do they go? Are they even still dolls? I mean, they seem to just pop their heads off without much concern. So far, the bodies just go missing. A neighbor who came back from the countryside told you that some old people's houses in the village have recently become empty. You knew they would never just leave their ancestral homes, but judging from the last visit, it was unlikely that they would die suddenly due to health problems. Did they really move out? Or have they been doll murdered? Is this an ongoing Chucky situation that we've stumbled into? You had just visited here a few days ago and had been impressed by its sturdy owner. As for now, although its appearances seem unchanged, you can still feel the strange, desolate atmosphere. Rather than leaving, you suspect that the old man has actually vanished. There's an old-style padlock. Walls of the yard don't seem very high. Let's hop on in. Probably a dex or strength check. I've got equal. Jump up, reaching the top of the wall, and climb onto its top without much effort. Carefully adjust your position, move your legs to the other side, describing in detail how to get over a wall. The room inside is quite bloody. Finally enter the house, only to see a total mess. Sticky stains splashed all over the floor, furniture is knocked over, and the paper interior walls were brutally torn apart. Not the walls! My god. Truly, these dolls are monsters. No corpses can be found. You still can't stop thinking about what happened to the old man. Now, what do you do among the wreckage? You'll probably find some thread. I'm gonna look for info. Last time you came, all the old man said was that an ancient book mentioned puppets that brought disaster. Now you found that ancient book in the study, with furniture fragments all over the place. Or to say, some scrapped pages that once belonged to it. Carefully placed them in the half-destroyed desk, spreading them out, and began reading. All you managed to salvage are several torn pages. Most of the undamaged parts are stained and are unable to distinguish. But that's all you can find. Take a deep breath. 2 great smiths, Sukume and someone, perform like a real person, amazed by the puppets. found some weird illustration along the words. Two people standing next to something like a set of armor. You picture they are in the smiths and their work. They are the smiths and their work. A mystic came from the north. Agreed at last, he left with a replica incarnation. Feed on mind, path towards beyond. So two puppets come to life, moving without hand. Oh, it's a haiku about murder puppets. You didn't find illustrations for this page, but what is said is pretty clear. You feet high, severing tigers, less than inch, stealing time. Mystic long gone, leaving the flaws. Sukume forged himself into the threads. Only the most. Calls upon outer gods. Reigned for months, thus banished. No more scripts can be found. On the stained illustration, a vague human figure is surrounded by messy lines. In the morning. It's early in the morning. Once again, you saw those dolls appearing from nowhere, heading towards the pier. Apart from the complete silence, they were no different from the real crowd. Their amount has grown a lot. Wherever their destination is, the one who created them must also be there. Keeping careful distance, you eventually find yourself on the bulwark again. Follow that doll. Puppets disappeared into the bulwark, into the crack. There were at least 100 of them. They all go in. You suddenly feel waves of dizziness. A vague desire stirs up a mess in your mind. Go in, go down, look into the crack. I'm inclined to follow. You let go of yourself and sink into that feeling of summoning, the feeling of warmth. The stomping desire in your mind has become currents of mild daze. Before fully sinking into it, you remember yourself standing upright, walking down the crack. Suddenly, coming back to your senses, you find yourself in a cave. How far have you come? What just happened? Before you start wondering, tinglings on your wrists and ankles draw you back. So many threads are buried deep under your skin. Looking around, you find countless lifelike dolls all standing stiffly, just like you. Among the terrifying crowd, there is another figure. Now we are the puppets. We've reverse Pinocchio'd. Here you are, dearest guest. The figure turns around. Thank you again for the memories. The steward is still in gorgeous clothes, but her voice became much clearer, like strings resonating. And now, bear witness, my ending in rebirth. You hear scrapings around the cave as the threads start pouring out from these dolls, tangling onto something else. Ah, the memories I have seen. Can you imagine? I am understanding everything. Future of everything. Destiny of everyone. How despairing. Huh. This is a bit abstract. But the doll's head was full of eyeballs. Probably my spare eyeball ended up in there somehow. How quickly can I kill it? Not very quickly at all. 39 HP. I could throw a robe at it. Strangest feeling that wouldn't be too effective. It's gonna end up requiring spells. A lot of spells. Let's, start skin removing and then mind draining it back. Now, I know I can do 10 damage per turn. With no problem whatsoever. But none of my spells add up to 10. I can still use a few mind drains. Yeah. This whole standby is going to be guaranteed, and we're going to go to another turn anyway. I'm pretty sure it is possible to program custom enemies with their own weaknesses, so it might have been possible to deal extra damage there with our magic weapon, but I don't know. I don't think I've seen any custom enemies that were assigned weaknesses the way normal enemies often are. 12 damage. Mind Drain again. Then finish it all off. Ah, that wasn't even the final boss. No unique perks, sadly. Knowledge seems like a no-brainer here, but I will also get some of these stats to 8. Might switch to a dex weapon soon enough. They tend to be faster anyway. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Sharpening Stone, Folklore Studies. I've never seen Sharpening Stone before because I think it is unique to this perk pack. Debris falls from above, shaking the ground under your feet. The puppeteer has totally become something else. Every time the new body trembles, thick threads were pulled, leaving deep scratches in the walls of the rock. Hit by another violent quaking, they, wrapped in silk threads, suddenly lost their balance. One last chance, you gather your strength again. Do I have to fight it a second time? Okay, thankfully no. The thing is, we're also wrapped in the strands. So we're like pulling against them to damage the enemy. About to make a reference to Saw 5, I think it is, where that's the opening scene. No one remembers that movie. You shattered her mask. The thing beneath hummed in pain. Chaotic burst of memories that didn't belong to you rushed into your mind. You couldn't help but cover your ears tightly. The puppeteer has completed the transformation. Threads rolled back, twisting into a new and strange figure above. Future of yours, future of mine, they do not end. We shall meet again. Another string stabbed into your thigh as they speak. You feel a twisted surge of life flowing in, pushing you up from the ground and start running out of all your power. Yep, start running out with all your power. You could not remember how many times you fell, but finally escaped before the waves of the rising tide coming in. Until getting out, you could still hear the thin, gossamer laughter coming from below. Climbed up the bank, stepped out onto your home. The puppeteer vanished under the tide, with the words still haunting. Future of yours, future of mine, they do not end. We shall meet again. Yep, gives us nightmares. Sun casts a long shadow in front of you. Blink again. Are the threads still inside your joints? Probably. Yep, also a good mystery. Suffers from comparison to the preceding one, that's for sure. And also some translation errors. Still, everyone loves a good puppet monster. Cursed Dynamite Heady. No reason to drink my milk, because I'm about to get maxed out stamina and maxed out reason. No reason to do anything but get an experience boost, it turns out. I am not getting injured enough, but my doom is completely out of control. I need to swerve that back. Also, I am gonna do Contagious Coma at some point. Yeah, let's do something familiar real quick. And along the way, try and get some funds back, some recovery. This is a recovery mission. I am also going to have to do the side quest. I really don't want to go to the other world. Although right this very moment, I am wearing an Otherworld shirt from World of Horror. At this point, I have almost all available merch for World of Horror because one of my favorite games. Human Lantern, eh? Unfortunately, it's a ghost. Ghosts are pretty annoying. I can still kill it in 2 turns. The damage calculation on the Sever attack is based on your weapon and also a few other factors, but the speed is always the same, so it's like mostly based on your weapon. It's a bit convoluted. And it always seems like you're not dealing enough damage. Why did I gain +1 reason for that? That's interesting. I do gotta do it again, though. We still haven't seen any of the custom events that could be related to this character. And there are a bunch of them. I probably should have removed some of the old event packs, since they can be disabled. Probably should have just gone with the cultists and gotten some friends. Oh, I should sell my ritual robe. This can't be healthy. -2 stamina. Now we know. Yeah, I feel like the first one is minus reason, then minus stamina, then plus doom. In that order. Since I seem to get that particular event every single time I play this game. I sell the hair. It's not worth anything. So I shall not. Side quest completed. All that really remains is the boss fight. Stabbed once more. We're used to it. Mind wipe. Hold on to that for now. If I end up with any reason recovery, then I will have more than I can spend on a bathtub. Then I'll discard that thing. No longer have negative experience. My ritual dagger seems very, 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 very fast. Faster than it was. And boost 2 of those to get an 80% chance to hit. I have a good chance to hit Miku here. Which is pretty cool. Yeah, we'll do one of these. Can't boost this last one. Now we just gotta get the guaranteed 10. And a prescription that is totally detrimental. Get the hell out of here. I can't even discard it. Into storage. Free spell casts. I mean, might as well cast this for free. It wasn't free. Rude. Okay, I'm forgetting that. Got plenty of opportunities for stamina recovery anyway. I think the creature we're about to fight only deals stamina damage, maybe? Luck success. Nothing there. Oh, -1 all. Yeah, we can definitely handle this. Scars, once again, coming in handy. Because normally this thing does like 3 damage per turn. Although that might be because I often play with Cthulhu, which increases all damage. Yeah, we're ready. We got this. No big deal. Fighting is just 3 damage. With a significantly higher chance to hit, though. Still looking for a way. Like 3 of these would get it into range where I could 2-turn it. But I think we'll just 4-turn it anyway. Yeah, that's probably our best bet. Never mind. Bonus damage. Does that mean there's anything more effective I can do? So it'll be 12 damage per turn. But if I do these, It'll be even more. Well, 12 damage will knock it down to 24, so I should cast some kind of spell. Just real quick. Might have been that I could have handled that better, mathematically speaking. But I still haven't gotten any money back. That recovery mission cost me all of my my health stats. Sort of backfired in a lot of ways. We'll have opportunities to recover as we check out the pen pal, I suppose. Now, we shouldn't need to do very much reading this time, because we've done this mystery before. It's really going to come down to whenever we get an event, I'm going to try and pick a choice that I didn't pick last time. However, I don't remember what choices I made last time. As a handy recap, we are being sent threatening letters from a mystery person called T. Or at least they could be read as threatening, because we don't know any T. And they insist that they're coming to meet us. Hey, I got $1, somehow. Doom is pretty bad. At the old monument. Give him my $1. Just in time to rest. Get some of that stuff back. I don't have any resting penalties, although I do have a huge penalty to hit at this point. Basically, minus 30% chance to hit in most instances. Combat's going to be rough from here on out. Okay. Last time I tried to peek through the peephole. Just going to crack open the door now. Stride confidently to the door, and it's the mailman. Plus one reason. Face your fears. We have no reason to fear the mailman, of course. Second creepy letter. There we finally go. I don't particularly want to give him any of these things at this point, but I'll give him the fondest memory. Can't remember if there's anything I wanted to actually do when I finally got money. I'm almost going to level up again, and I haven't even discarded my mind wipe. -2 reason. Got the last thing I needed right now. Okay. Another letter is arriving. Shadow at the door. Probably just the mailman. Let's run over. Deck success. Rush to the door. Swing it open. Look at the stairwell. Movement going downstairs. When you run to the stairs and look down, we missed them. No one there. I mean, there definitely was someone there, they just got away. Quicker than we could possibly catch up. Let's read the letters. They'll almost certainly damage my reason. But no, I won the lottery instead. That should cover my funds for the entire rest of this run. Yeah, we definitely need to lift the heaviest box. It's one of those days. The fourth letter. Last time I answered the phone, I believe? Check the door this time. The police can always just call you back. You move to the door while the phone stops ringing. Well then. Almost more weary than concerned at this point, you take a peek through the peephole and quickly recognize the familiar figure of a mailman. You open the door, glancing sideways nervously, but he's alone. He's holding another postcard, this time without an envelope. Thank you, Mr. Policeman. Grab the postcard. It's a photo of the Shiokawa lighthouse with "Wish you were here" written in rather garish lettering. And flip it. The message is short. Hi, it's me. A sudden piercing pain erupts in your gut. -4 stamina. That is a deadly postcard. You put the postcard away to see the hilt of a letter opener sticking out of your body. The postman's hand wrapped around it. You look up at him, he shakes his head. Long-distance relations just don't work, do they? So the postman immediately stabbed me. Quite gruesomely. Yeah, that's his handwritten postcard right to us. Plus 5% doom as well. At least that should go away soon. Once we're done with the mystery. If I survive any sort of boss fight here. Look what you're making me do. I gave you multiple warnings, multiple chances. Just tell me about your day. Or write to someone, anyone, I don't care, so I can read it. But stop cutting me off. This is not just your life, it's mine too, you know. I'm invested. Or just leave the town. You're a waste of an address. Let's let him babble. People just don't write anymore. Now it's all about technology. The 80s, the go-go 80s and their email. Everyone has to have a telephone in their home. Kids would walk around the street with them. Kids would walk around the street with them if they could. Blah, blah, blah. He predicted smartphones. Where does that leave me? Dragging lottery tickets and jars of eels around. Leaving delivery notices in mailboxes because nobody's ever home. He's shipping jars of eels? Oh my god. I threw years of my life away serving this community, and now you're cutting me off? I read their letters too. I know what they're planning. There's not much time left for Shiokawa, and I refuse to leave any storylines with no closure. If I have to, I'll just close them myself, one by one, starting with yours. I am kind of curious who they might be. He shrugs. Fools at the lighthouse, weekend occultists, salarymen with illusions of grandeur. Most don't even realize that they're waking up. They lack the whole picture you can only get from the reader's viewpoint. When the old god arrives, As he's about to go on another tangent, he's interrupted by the phone ringing again. Both of you brought back to reality. I don't know if he's gonna immediately kill me if I answer the phone. Feels like the sort of thing he would do at this point. So anatomy, extra damage against humans, that might be perfect for right now. Or get mystery meat for completing a mystery. Both interesting. I gotta go with what's gonna help me immediately. And I think I gotta boost my knowledge as well. So that I can take this guy. Let's answer the phone, too. What phone call has saved me? Saved by the bell. Sprint to the ringing phone, the postman right on your heels. You barely have enough time to pull the receiver off. Call the police, you scream, and chuck it at the postman. I hate phones, he drawls, murder in his voice, as he moves toward you. You can only hope that the caller will heed your plea. Plus one reason. Muttering under the breath, eyes bugging out, the postman raises the letter opener like a dagger, steps in your direction. There are other drawings that he can have for his boss fight, I think. Maybe it's just this one. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't miss all the artwork for this character. Because there is some good stuff that we skipped the first time. I do deal a lot of damage, but I will die if I don't at least brace this turn. So 7 damage there. I can cast a bunch of spells. Effectively 11 damage with no real cost to it. "75% chance to hit. Make it 85 with a boost each time. That'll be 10 damage each turn, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see where this gets me, and then I'll start casting spells. Because he's only dealing 1 damage at a time. Take a swig of water. But mathematically, we're going to run out of turns here. So I should probably try and end it this turn. By removing his skin. Although with only 10 DPS, it's going to take a lot of skin. Give me that skin. Nice. It's a good thing I'm secretly a mage. Yep, they chain him up once again. Yeah, I got ending A again. There are, I think, 2 more endings. So that means a lot more to see in this mystery. That mystery is elaborate and really good. That was the first one that really impressed me by A and B. It's also the first one I played, but I still think it's better than the bus mystery, which is the only one I have left at the moment. Oh, fill the bottle. Desperately need that. We got a lot of... No, wait. Yeah, for some reason I kept the doom that I had been receiving from the postcards. So I don't know if we're going to complete this. I can certainly try. Take another look at the Sunlit Shuttle, which also has multiple endings. I consider it likely that we're just going to get the same one again. I am going to need some doctor pills. But the doctor can't help me with any of this stuff. He does not treat panic. Take a bath, +1 stamina. There is, one of the routes I could have taken on that last mystery involves the postman reaching through the mail slot all the way up to his shoulders and, like, having multiple joints in his arms and stuff. So there's some real creepy supernatural stuff on top of just the dude losing his mind storyline that we keep getting. Hello, glued corpse. What can I do for you today? Can do 18 damage a turn. Take one of those. Little unlikely that I'll land all 18. Still can't guarantee both. That's a lot more than 18. Way more than 18. It's 20. Okay. This is the one that counts. We don't need the full 3 heavy attacks. This would do it. So let's try and boost these. this, and then double boost you, and best I can do right now. Good. Perfect. Why do I keep getting reason back every time I kill people? I don't think I took any specific perk relating to that. Never bothered to get a sharp weapon. Okay, last time I think I offered my theories. Charisma check, failure. Just thrown out completely. She's not going to help us. Don't have much doom to spend. And I didn't get a knife. Okay, the dog wants me to die. So no knives for me. My ritual dagger. I am gonna have to go to the monument at this point. Yep, can't do either of these. Stuck with a default route, plus 3% doom. He just wants money. We are making the monument rich. That'll do for now. Might be able to make it to the end of this mystery, but not much further. That'll add doom. This'll reduce stats. Oh wait, just made me insomniac. That's fine. Apparently people who play this game a lot consider insomnia to be one of the worst debuffs you can get. I usually just shake it off. Don't worry about it. I'm a literal insomniac, so let's not fall asleep. Lose some stamina instead. Plus 6% doom. As the ride reaches its final stop and you step off the bus, stretching your legs, you can't hide your frustration at all the time you've wasted. Yeah, we just rode that bus around all night long. For ending C. I mean, probably the best outcome we could have gotten, considering the way things are going, and a huge doom reduction. Just for completing the mystery. None of these perks help me, and I can't afford to re-roll them. Let's go strength and perception. Why not? Now onwards to our inevitable doom, because there is no way I'm making it to the top of the tower. I've performed some ridiculous feats to get through that tower, but probably not this time. I never got Heart of Darkness, I think? Yeah, no Heart of Darkness, which means there are 5 events on the way up the tower, each one costing 1% doom. So we'll see what happens if you reach the final room at 100% doom. If we get there. I do need to nail this one. We started with the amateur acting and then on to you. This I can pass. I can afford to fail one of these. I cannot afford to fail this, which is a problem. Did the audience, that's for sure. Must have been the puppet pile. Hell yes. I can't believe I actually got that one right for once. Doom. Yeah, even if I pass this, I should still lose the game. So, hit it with all we got. Taking Takashi-san down with me. I will end this world feasting on a corpse. one way or another. Good old skin removal into Mind Drain. I wish there was an option in the level up to reduce Doom. That'd be handy right about now. End of the world, Cthulhu wins. Like one step away from the end. But still a fun playthrough. We saw lots of new stuff. And our character is awful perky about it. Secretly, she was with the old gods. Because she's one of the monsters. So everyone wins. Hooray. Now what I should do one of these days, and what I will do in fact, there is a challenge that I still haven't done. Toshiaki still needs to get through the game with his cookbook. I just never bothered to do it because there's no achievement attached. Bizarrely enough, I don't know why. So yeah, we'll come back. There's plenty more World of Horror to see. It never ends, this game, even when you have 100%. There's still stuff you can do. Again, custom mysteries are knocking it out of the park. Custom characters are delightful all around. The modders are on another level with this game. Thanks again for joining me. As I said, World of Horror will return. See you in your nightmares. Or something.